Hot girls have hobbies, so this is part 6 of 20 hobbies you should learn in your 20s. I know sourdough is old news, but just in case you needed another push, I'm gonna show you exactly how I make mine. Here are my credentials, and this is my recipe. Screenshot it, save it, don't forget it. The key with this recipe is that we're going to be measuring our ingredients by weight and not by volume, so you're gonna need a kitchen scale. Other things you'll need are a Dutch oven, I got mine from Lodge, high quality bread flour, and of course a sourdough starter. You can buy these online, but odds are you have a friend or neighbor who already has a starter, so I would just ask around first. You don't need these, but if you wanna get fancy, I like my Banneton proofing basket and this bread lom. Lom? I literally looked it up and that's what it says, but that sounds so weird. Okay, you're gonna get a large glass bowl. You wanna start with a really active and bubbly starter. It's super easy, you can look up how to do that. Then you're gonna weigh out your starter and your water and make sure the water's as warm as it can be without being hot. You don't wanna kill your starter.
Mix that together until the starter dissolves into the water before you add in the rest of the ingredients.
And then you're gonna add in your flour and your salt, and then you're gonna roughly mix that up until it's all incorporated. It's gonna be a tacky, sticky mess, and that's okay. It's not gonna be this perfectly rounded ball of dough right now. And then we're gonna do our stretches and folds. I do mine 4 times over the course of 2 hours, so every 30 minutes I do a stretch and fold. Basically, you grab out a side of the dough, stretch it out, and fold it over itself. Stretch it out and fold over itself, and rotate it. I probably do it 6 or 7 times just until I feel like I'm done. And in between the stretches and folds, I make sure to cover my bowl with a damp rag and leave it to rest in a warm space. After your stretches and folds, your dough should be looking like a nice round ball of dough that you would imagine your bread to look like. And we're gonna do our bulk rise. So this means the bread needs to rise to double its size. If you don't have a warm space to put it in, find one. Use a space heater. Turn your oven onto the lowest setting and then turn it off and put it in the oven. If you let it sit for hours and hours and hours and it's not rising, you gotta change your tactics. You're not gonna get a nice fluffy loaf of bread if it's not rising. This should not take more than 2 hours. Once it's doubled in size, we're gonna proof our bread, which means sticking it in the fridge. So what I do is I flour my Banneton basket, place the loaf in, cover it up, and stick it in the fridge for 1 to 24 hours. I usually leave mine in overnight. In the morning, you're gonna stick your Dutch oven in your big oven and you're gonna preheat it all to 500 degrees. Once it's at 500, turn it down to 450. Take your Dutch oven out, put your bread in, make sure there's parchment paper or something so it doesn't get stuck to the pot. Put the lid back on and stick it in the oven. You're gonna bake it for 30 minutes with the lid on and then 15 minutes with the lid off so it browns up the crust. And there you go, a perfect loaf of sourdough. I don't think I missed anything, but if I did, feel free to ask.